What's going on, y'all? Micah here, and I'm back with another boxing video. And you guys already know what this video is about. The whole Spence versus Crawford fight. This is a breakdown of what happened, a recap of what happened. We're going to first talk about a few things that I thought previously. I like both guys, Crawford and Spence. I thought it was a toss-up, but I was going for Spence. But the better man won tonight. After that, as far as pound for pound goes, they're going to be trying to say, yeah, Naoya Inoue the best. Yeah, he beat one black guy. He's the best ever. Yeah, he's pound for pound one. No, he's not. We're going to definitely put Terrance Crawford at number one. Dante Boxing Nation actually put out a list, and I thought it was a fair list. It has Terrance Crawford at number one, Errol Spence at number two. I think after that, they have Dimitri Bivol, then Naoya Inoue. After that, they've got a few other guys. I believe there was Usyk, Charlo, Haney, Tank Davis, and a few other guys on there. But I think it was a pretty fair list. I don't think Naoya Inoue is number one, but I do think he's up there. I would say that Terrance Crawford, deserves to be number one due to all the people that he's beaten. And then after putting Errol Spence on his booty last night, I would say that he deserves to be number one because, they've both beaten a bunch of top guys. Errol Spence has beaten a bunch of top guys. Terrance Crawford has beaten a bunch of top guys. And then Errol Spence. Dimitri Bivol has beaten a guy like Canelo, who is, he's Canelo. And then Naoya Inoue has been, he's been doing his numbers in Japan. He's had a clean sweep record. So, I think that's pretty fair. The next thing I thought was funny, man. Going on Twitter, I saw a lot of people saying that Errol Spence lost because he's only half FBA, which I thought it was funny. I'm not looking at it like how those other guys look at it. They look at it like they're really serious about it. Like, yeah, we don't like nothing about no Jamaican, nothing other than Black American. But I just look at it as a joke. Like, just say he's just that Jamaican side guy. It's just a funny joke to me. It's not no serious nothing to me. I think that I don't know, if you want to keep it a buck, I think Jamaican, all the Caribbean, all y'all have a lot more similarities with us than you guys act like. Y'all do be trying to act like y'all are better than us, but y'all have a lot of similarities. Y'all got brought over by the slave trade. I'm pretty sure y'all's masters did some wrongs to y'all's women's and men's and all that kind of stuff. And y'all had to kind of make y'all's own culture out of what you had there. And, kind of similar to us, but y'all be acting like y'all better than us. But I will say that I think Black Americans have the best athletes. I don't care what anybody says. At the end of the day, though, we should all be sticking together. Shouldn't be no division. It's just a matter of, y'all. I think Black Americans are, I think we're the most accepting out of the crew of blacks. But, everybody else starts hating, and then they get mad when we hold them accountable for that hate. Another thing that I would say, as far as Errol Spence, he's actually part FBA too, but for some reason he was only really repping his Jamaican side. at the beginning of the fight when they was talking trash, he was like, we be smoking bud, we smoke bud. It's like, all right, bro. And then in the corner, he only was waving the Jamaican flag when his mom is FBA. He could have had the American flag too, just kind of showing that I rock with both, because he got most your swag from FBA. And everything you do is FBA. If he hadn't said nothing about him being Jamaican, bro, I would have been like Young Dolph. I would have had to hit him with a nigga. You ain't Jamaican. I would have hit him like that. But you know how us black folks be trying to do. We always want to seem exotic and all that kind of stuff, man. So seeming Jamaican make you feel like you doing something extra. Like if somebody would have told me back in the day, man, your folks back in the day was Native American. That's why your mama looked like an Asian and your grandparents look Asian too. I would have been like, oh, y'all different. But, if you tell me now, I'd be like, oh, yeah, they was just slavers, man. I don't have no respect for them. It's a whole another kind of thing. But some people would also say that Terrance Crawford was on some Looney Tunes stuff because he brought Eminem out. I mean, I guess you could say that. I mean, he could have probably brought somebody black out, like how Javante Davis brings out people like Chief Keef and Uzi Vert or somebody like that. Or, he could have brought somebody a little bit more respected, I guess. He could have brought somebody out like that. But yeah, that's how it is with these sports guys, man. They ain't really, they're not really, I guess, racially aware or politically aware in these streets. But anyway, man, now we're we're going to get to what you actually came for, man. I got you with all the extra race mess, all the FBA 9, FBA talk. Now it's time to talk about the recap of the fight. Let's get it. So first round, not a whole lot doing. Errol Spence came out. You know, he was jabbing and kind of controlling the distance. Nothing was landing, though. Terrance Crawford threw a few shots, and they kind of landed a little bit. Terrance Crawford was in southpaw. Terrance Crawford does the switch hitting thing, so sometimes it'll be southpaw, sometimes it'll be orthodox. And I guess this time he chose to be southpaw to go against Errol Spence because, most guys aren't southpaw, so it's kind of tough to get that southpaw look and get used to southpaws. Even other southpaws have trouble with southpaws. So, yeah, man, I think that was a smart tactical advantage that Terrance Crawford decided to start with there. He went southpaw. Errol Spence probably didn't know which way he was going to come out, and he decided southpaw. But first round, I would go Errol Spence just due to more activity. Even though he wasn't doing a lot, he was having ring generalship and all that good stuff. And, he was just throwing a jab out there. Next round. Errol Spence, he kind of continued on his, his ring generalship thing for the most part. But then Terrance Crawford, it seemed like he was dialing in on that first round because on the second round, he started to catch him. He was catching him with that power jab. He was hitting him with 2-1s, not even 1-2s, because, he's a switch hitter. So I'm guessing, he's got power in both hands, obviously. He was hitting him with the 2. I think Errol Spence would come in with that jab to the body. After a while, Terrance Crawford had started to time it. He caught him with a 2 on the way in, and then on his way out, he hit him with that power jab with the right. And then that sent him to the floor, 10-8 in favor of Terrance Crawford. On the third round, I personally felt that Errol Spence came out, he came out like, a dog backed into a corner. So he came out harder. He was putting more pressure on Terrance Crawford. And, he was not really doing a lot, but he was putting more pressure on. He was doing that little overhand left and, the little classic Errol Spence body shots. And, trying to stay close, but not really able to stay close because Terrance Crawford was, he was moving real good with that boxing, that foot speed that he's got, man. Terrance Crawford was landing some good jabs, too. But I would give that round more so to Errol Spence because he was more active and, he was trying to get in there and stuff. Terrance Crawford was on the, he was on the run. But after that, round what's that shit? Round 4 to 9 was just Terrance Crawford destroying Errol Spence, man. It was like I personally think that Terrance Crawford he's not Mayweather, but he's up there as far as skill, having elite reaction time and athleticism. And then on top of that, he has pop in each punch. Whereas, Floyd Mayweather, after a while, his hands started to break or get brittle, so he started to take off the power with his shots. Terrance Crawford has power, and then he can go both ways, southpaw and orthodox, so you don't know what punch is coming for you, and either hand could hurt you. And that's what we saw pretty much all night. One thing I'll say, man, I think that Errol Spence, it seemed like Errol Spence couldn't really get in his bag for the night, man. Some things I would say that he was doing wrong. It seemed like his punches were kind of slow and lethargic. Some people were saying that because he's at 147 and he should have been at 154. I mean, you could argue that, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's not like these guys don't have the best nutritionists and all this kind of stuff, and they're not rehydrating and whatnot. So, I mean, but you never know. You never know, man. A bad weight cut is a bad weight cut. It's such a risky, weird thing. I think weight cutting is the worst part of boxing or fighting, period. But he was very lethargic with his punches. That overhand left, it was sloppy, but it got in there a couple times, but it was sloppy and slow. When he jabbed to the body, he would come straight out. He'll jab in. It was a slow jab to the body, and then he'll come straight back out, allowing Terrance Crawford to catch it with those 2-1s or those 1-2s on the way out pretty easily because he was not moving his head. It seemed like he couldn't establish the right distance. He kind of stayed at that middle distance, which is perfect if you're fighting a boxer for the boxer, because they're going to be able to hit you at will, and they're going to be able to throw the right shots and get all the power into their shots and keep you at that right distance to possibly get you up out of there. That's what happened. He didn't get in close. When he did get in close, he was very smothered because it was like how you feel you feel that way, like you're not going to be able to get this again. So it kind of throws you off. It kind of puts you under pressure. It makes you perform badly. I felt like that's what Errol Spence was feeling like. He felt like there weren't going to be too many portions of time where he was going to have have Terrance Crawford up close where he could hit him. So he just got in there and got sloppy, and he tried to throw them body shots. And he was trying to rip him, but Terrance Crawford was blocking him. Nothing was landing, man. It was such a one-sided, lopsided fight, man. I'm so surprised by it, man. I'm so surprised by it. Errol Spence did not look like Errol Spence in there, or maybe just Terrance Crawford is just that guy, man. I think that Terrance Crawford may just be that guy, man. But those are just a few things on why I think that Errol Spence lost, man. Slow and lethargic, not really closing the distance, going straight out, backing straight out as soon as he got done with that jab to the body. And I think he could have probably clinched and, made it a little bit more rougher and dirty, but he wasn't doing that. I think that would have maybe helped a little bit. But guys don't be clinching, and guys be kind of weak in boxing a little bit when it comes to like that strength and locking up stuff. So I would say that maybe that's why he didn't do it. I think he should have probably did that just a little bit more. What's it like round 7? I think he dropped him a couple of times. It was bad. I think he hit him with like a quadruple jab one time. Then round 8 or 9, I think it was round 8. He was having him on skates again, man. He had Errol Spence looking like, y'all know them old cheat key videos, depending on your age, you might know. Like, when they do that little thing where they act like, they need their crew to hold them up and stuff. He was looking like, Errol Spence was looking like that, man, when he was getting punched on. He was looking like he needed his crew to hold him up, man. It was bad. He was in the blender. Every shot was hurting him. You could tell the body shots had him kind of leaning over a little bit. The jabs had his head popping back. The twos had him goddamn fumbling and bumbling. The hooks had him fumbling and bumbling, bro. It just wasn't really nothing, man. I think he got caught with an uppercut, and that dropped him. And then after that, he got dropped again or something like that. In like the 9th round, he got hit with like a hook that dropped him. And then he got back up, and then Terrance Crawford went in for the finish. He just kind of swarmed him, and that's when the ref decided, it was time. It was time to go on, stop it, man. And it was definitely tough, man. It was tough to watch, man. I could imagine, Errol's family was definitely out there like, man. They was like, what's the dude off bracket? Stop! No! Throw in the towel! When Apollo Creed had got killed, y'all remember that? When the black dude was like, no! Throw in the towel! It was like that, man. It was definitely tough, man. But one thing I will say, I got to give kudos to Errol Spence for not being a bitch, man. Errol Spence is definitely not a bitch. He was in there trying his best to, to not fold, and he was trying, still fighting. He wasn't really backing down, because he's got that forward style, so he wasn't backing down and, kind of hiding and all that kind of stuff. Terrance Crawford just was, the better guy. As far as who I think who's up next, Errol Spence says he wants to fight Terrance Crawford again, but I think it was such a lopsided, and he was beaten so handily, there's not really a point in him doing it again. Unless, I would say that Errol Spence needs to get a tune-up with some of these other guys, beat up on some of those other guys, and then come back to Terrance Crawford for, a SmackDown number 2. As far as Terrance Crawford goes, he's getting older. He's 35 right now. I mean, he does have elite genetics. He's black, so we don't age badly. We keep our youth in our looks and in our athletics, as long as you keep working out. That's another thing I'll say about Terrance Crawford. I think that he doesn't really take off time. Some of these boxers, they take off time, they get fat, they don't go in the gym, they lose sharpness, and they lose fitness as well. And that's one thing I don't think Terrance Crawford does. I don't think that he does all that kind of crap. I don't know if he even drinks or smokes. So, yeah, that. But I think that he should probably fight Jaron Ennis, Boots Ennis next. I think that'll be a good fight, man. 2 guys, very high-skilled. I'm not really sure who will win that one. I think Terrance Crawford is going to win that one, actually, based off of this dismantling he did of Errol Spence. I think Jaron Ennis is definitely good. The way he did that little dude, Roy Monvilla last time, it definitely has me like, oh, yeah, he can goddamn get in there and shake it up with the best of them. I've heard tell of Boots Ennis knocking dudes out in the in the gym that's, you know, way heavier than them, heavyweights and all the other guys, man. Like, he been goddamn budget and everything. Folks have told me firsthand. So, yeah, man, I think that would be a good fight. I think Enos is game for it. We already know Terrance Crawford is game for it. Otherwise, I'm not really sure who else they could fight. Who else is there in the division? They pretty much both beat up everybody. Errol Spence is beating up everybody. Terrance Crawford is beating up everybody. You know, what's left? But, yeah, man, that's it for the video right there, man. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think each guy should fight next? Who do you guys think is the best pound for pound? All that good stuff and more. If you watched up to this point, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.